Winter is coming. Are you prepared? Is your house prepared? It's fun, right? Fall. I love fall. It is my favorite time of the year. Yet there are things we really need to do to our house to make sure that it's ready for fall too. We can get out our sweaters and get out our boots and our wraps and our hats and watch the leaves. Oh, the leaves. That's something we've got to think about with our house too, isn't it? There is some fall maintenance that you really want to make sure you're doing so that your house moves right through the winter with ease. What are my best fall maintenance tips for your house? That's what we're talking about today, and we're starting right now. I'm Sherri Ann Green with Coldwell Banker. Welcome to my YouTube channel that guides home sellers and home buyers in Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia. So I said it in the intro, and that's the first thing you want to do. You want to check your gutters for leaves, sticks, bird nest, anything that could be hanging around up there in your gutters. They can be a huge problem when we collect a lot of things in our gutters and then we get snow and we get a lot of rain and it all backs up and it leaks down the side of the house. So the first thing you want to do is check those gutters. While we're on the outside, let's talk about other outside things. My biggest tip here is to make sure that you have all the tools you need. This is my pro tip. Make sure that you have the snowblower you need, the leaf blower that you need, the rake that you need, the shovel that you need, the salt and the sand that you need for your sidewalk, anything that you're going to need to get these outside projects accomplished. Now, you'll notice I didn't say a ladder. I really don't want you climbing on the ladder to check your gutters. I'd really rather you have a professional do that. It's just safer. But if you insist on doing it yourself, please make sure you're spotted by someone and be really, really careful as you go to check your leaves and your gutters and make sure that everything is running smoothly up in your gutter system. The next thing you want to do is fertilize your lawn, get it all ready. Talk to your local landscaper, your local garden store, and make sure you're using the right fertilizer for your lawn, and make sure that this is the right time of year for the lawn that you have and then the climate that you have. And lastly, what you want to do is if you want any spring bulbs to bloom in the spring, you have to plant them now. So they're really fall bulbs, I guess, that come up as flowers in the spring. But I think you get my point. Plant any bulbs now that you want to bloom in the spring so that you have this beautiful yard come May. Let's move inside the house because there are several things we want to check on inside too, just like we check on the outside. So the first thing is to check the fireplace. One of my favorite parts of the winter and the fall is having a beautiful roaring fire, but it's also some place that we really want to make sure is safe. So make sure you've checked your fireplace. Make sure you've had it inspected. Make sure you've had it cleaned, and then stock up on any firewood so you're ready to be cozy all winter long. The next thing you want to do is to check your HVAC system. Do you have a heat pump, a boiler, a furnace? Have that system checked out to ensure that it is in top performance for the winter. There are several companies that will do routine maintenance to your HVAC systems. They will set you up with a fall and a spring check. So the fall one gets you ready for winter, the spring one gets you ready for summer, and your systems just work a lot better when they are maintained, cleaned, and checked out twice a year. So you may call your favorite professional in that arena and make sure that you have a contract in place if you would like one. And if not, just make sure that you're checking it, you're cleaning it, you've checked your filters, and everything is working properly so that you don't have a cold house when winter arrives. Speaking of your HVAC systems and your heating and cooling, do you have a programmable thermostat? If you don't, that is the first thing you need to do, or the next thing you need to do. Get a programmable thermostat. If you have one in place already, check that winter schedule and make sure that it is exactly as it should be. Last winter, a lot more of us were working from home all year round. This year, a lot of us have had to go back to the office. And so the schedule you had last winter may not be the one you need this winter. You may be leaving the house every day at 7 or 8 or 9. And so it would be helpful if your house wasn't being constantly heated all day long. It might help for it to change some during the day when you're out of the house and then warm up a little bit when you get home. Just make sure you're following the recommended temperature swings that your system recommends so that you aren't losing a lot of energy on the movement of that temperature throughout the day. The next thing to do to make sure your house isn't cold is to check for drafts. I would check around every window and check around any exterior door. Do you need any more winterizing sealant around any of the windows? Any sort of weather stripping under the door frame, around the door frame? Just check and make sure there are no drafts that need to be sealed up before winter arrives. Did you know your ceiling fan goes in two different directions? One is for summer and one is for winter. If you've been running it all summer to help keep your house cooler, make sure you reverse it for the winter. And the last thing I want to suggest that you do is to check the batteries in your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide detectors. A lot of people suggest to do this at the beginning of the year, and that's a great time to do it too. But if you are popping around the house, checking all of these other systems and doors and windows, you might as well go ahead and knock this off your list too. Just go ahead and change the batteries if they need to be changed, recharge them if they are rechargeable, and make sure that all of your systems are working properly with smoke and fire detectors and carbon monoxide detectors inside your house. What else are you doing to prepare your house for winter and for fall? I'd love to know. Leave me a note in the comments. And while you're here, don't forget to check out this video. I think you'll find it helpful.